All right, Coach Grinch, welcome to UCF. How you doing?
I appreciate it. Doing well.
What was it like to get the call? I know it was around Christmas time. I'm sure you heard all the jokes
Yes.
about that. What was it like getting that call from Coach Frost?
Well, it was exciting. I was at a quality program for Coach Fickle at the University of Wisconsin. Very happy there, and so not one that was looking around and trying to find the next opportunity by any stretch of the imagination. But as Coach and I spoke very quickly, was something that was very intriguing to me. Again, the history of Coach Frost, my respect for him, and the respect I have for UCF, kind of all combined to be an opportunity I wanted to pursue.
Of course, that Wisconsin team finished 13th in passing yards allowed, 43rd in the nation in total defense. You worked under Lincoln Riley for quite a long time. Just what have you kind of picked up from that time that you bring with you here?
Yeah, I think, every step along the way, you learn. I mean, I think being around offensive coaches over the course of my career, going back to Chip Kelly being our offensive coordinator when I was at New Hampshire, to I think about, my first coordinator opportunity with Coach Leach, Coach Meyer at Ohio State, and then you mentioned Coach Riley. And so, when you defend those type of offenses, I'd say this, what you defend 8 months of the year has a lot to do with what the things that you're doing the other 4 months of the year when you're going against the opponents. And so, been fortunate, very fortunate, one of the luckiest guys in this profession. The opportunities that I've had and the coaches I've had a chance to work with over the course of time. And so you bring all that with you.
You also had that Rose Bowl champion Buckeyes team you were with in 2018 as well. Just, from your time coaching in Power 5, like how does that inform like how you evolve going forward?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you just have a respect for, the quality of opponent as you go through a 12-game season and think about it, being in the Big 12 in Oklahoma and a couple of Big 12 championships, and I think about the year that we didn't win it, and that was, it comes down to week in and week out, the battle, embracing that, understanding that it's going to be hard, understanding that we can do hard things, and at this level of football, like you mentioned, it's one that you have to respect and understand it's a tall order every week, and that's also what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, I know your name was floated around for the Broyles Award a few times in your time. What has that meant to you to be able to kind of get that recognition from your peers?
Yeah, I think, you're talking to a guy, all I've ever wanted to do is be a college football coach, and I've been very fortunate to have the opportunity to do that. And so to say that, it may be being recognized in some way or another in terms of the ability to do that. And ultimately you're judged, making sure that get the guys to play above their ability level, and then probably have done that, whether the outside world knows it or not. It's hard to quantify, I get it, but that's your aim as a coach. You get in it to make guys better, and sometimes you get the outcomes on the field, and sometimes other times you don't, but no, that's the charge, and so something I take very seriously.
So, Coach, I want to take you back to 2005 for a second.
Okay.
You get your first position coaching job after being a grad assistant at Missouri at New Hampshire. Your defensive coordinator of that first season, Mike Dawson,
Yes.
who, of course, you're now working with, who is now under you as defensive run game coordinator. What's it like to be back on the same staff with him again after 20 years?
No, it's outstanding. I've learned so much from Coach Doss, and like in any profession, especially when you're coming up, the guys that you get a chance to be around and guys that you learn from. I mean, it's maybe you don't have a lot of bad habits and you don't know what you don't know, and so you're just really trying to soak up any bits of knowledge that you can get over the course of time. But no, he's a guy of all the coaches in the country. He's one I have the utmost respect for, and I'll continue to learn football from Coach Dawson as well, and this opportunity as well. I'm just thrilled to be in the room with him, and things have a funny way of I don't know, full circle's the right term, but just the opportunity to be around good guys, good coaches in this business is sometimes take it for granted, which I don't anymore. And so, no, thrilled to be around Coach Dawson.
What's the difference between the Alex Grinch that first met Coach Dawson in 05 versus the one we're looking at right now?
I don't know. I think we both got a little bit more gray, but no, I think probably more similar than not. I mean, it was always, even going back to that, get the guys playing hard and get the guys working their tails off, and that was Coach Sharon McDonald was the head coach, and he was the defensive coordinator. No, it's this football. What it took to win back then and be successful back then is the same things. A lot of things changed, but what it takes to be successful hasn't, and so you still kind of circle back to those times.
So what's your big defensive philosophy that you're going to be working with here with the guys this
Yeah,
spring?
play fast, play hard, play aggressive. I use the phrase play downhill. You know, if it's a run play, it should look like a linebacker's blitz, and you may not know if it's a blitz or not if we're doing right. And playing with that type of aggressiveness, but have been known for disruption over the, I think, 8 years calling plays, 33 sacks a year, 90 TFLs a year, 21 takeaways a year. And so that's kind of the earmark of what we do. Takeaways equal victory is something that we preach to the guys because it does. And so we want to, be ball hawks and hunt the football as we go through this thing as well. And so, but playing facts and playing aggressive and playing with an effort that is uncommon is the goal.
Well, of course, you're going to be coaching safeties. So you got Brandon Harris coaching the corners, in the secondary back there. What's it been like working with him on the secondary front?
Well, really good. And the nice thing is when you're building a staff and the nice thing about a UCF and the head coach and Coach Frost at the top of this thing, the pool of guys that want to be a part of this was large, which is out of respect for this program. But an opportunity to work with Coach Harris. I'm excited to be around him, to get a chance to work with him. I'm excited to learn from him. We are very particular in that we train defensive backs. Not a safety is trained completely different than a corner. This can train completely different as a nickel. And so working hand to hand together. And so a guy that has had a good career up until this point, and a guy we're excited to bring into the fold and get a chance to work with.
Pair of you, of course, been quite busy in the transfer portal, quite a lot transfer portal. I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of defensive backs have been coming in. Just what's your big transfer portal philosophy with Brandon and all that? What is the biggest thing you're kind of looking for when you're looking at that?
Yeah, I think it's, every year's unique, and the first year in particular, I mean, you're trying to upgrade yourself athletically, but you may not know all the answers to where you're at athletically. You want to upgrade from an experience standpoint. But you may not know exactly. Obviously, everyone has zero experience, with us as coaches, and so the first year in particular is the most in that way. When I say the word unique, and but ultimately just try to get a pool of guys. Speed is the number one attribute, but guys that we think with the physical development have size potential and speed potential to play the position, and the want to as well. And so, no, we're excited about the guys we have brought in, and most excited to get a chance to work with them as we get into spring football.
What's the biggest thing you're looking for out of your guys this spring?
I think playing with a sense of urgency and playing with an effort level that I use the phrase uncommon. I want to see guys playing in a way that suggests that there's a respect for what's coming this fall, and so training ourselves to play in that way. Want to see guys attacking the football in every single down, and playing with techniques and fundamentals to go along with that. It's very rare do you watch the film and say you had bad eyes, you took bad steps, you played with poor effort, but you made a great play. It just doesn't equate. And so making sure that we're training our guys those type of habits in terms of playing with appropriate effort.
One thing that I noticed from last season UCF was one of the lowest teams at Type 114th in terms of turnover margin, and turnovers of course are a major factor in games. I mean, heck, we saw that in the Super Bowl. So when it comes to turnovers, how do you kind of instill that kind of turnover hunter mentality with your defense?
Well, number one, the sole purpose for us taking the field is to get the ball back to the offense. And that's what defensive football is. And you can talk about yards and certainly how do you prevent yards? You get the ball back to the offense sooner rather than later. But understanding that and really preaching that, not because it sounds good or it's a theory, it's just flat reality. And takeaways do equal victory. It's one of the greatest predictors for success. There's a momentum piece attached to it. There's obviously field position attached to it. And then ultimately, in basketball, for some reason, no one's confused as you're trying to take the ball away from, if you steal the ball, you're supposed to steal it, and making sure guys understand that the ball has no idea where it's supposed to be either. And sometimes we give the ball too much credit. like the ball's supposed to be in the receiver's hands or the running back's hands. The ball doesn't know that, and so we have every opportunity to go get in. No one has a monopoly on the football as well. And so, no, just I think making it an emphasis and showing the guys and understanding that's building a reality. They're not luck. They're not luck. That's an inappropriate way to think.
Good job. It's time we
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Coach, welcome.
Appreciate you.